You're a business owner and you're trying to navigate this marketing thing because you realize you need to make content now. You didn't get into this business to make content. You didn't want to make videos. You didn't want to be in front of the camera. I get it. I started out being behind the camera, doing wedding photography, specifically behind this camera. So I just documented someone's journey. But how do I get the business out of it? I turned the camera around on me and started talking about what I think about weddings, what I think about the day, how I can help the bride, what she needs to know, what he needs to do, and all the rest that comes in weddings. And I just documented that every time I had a thought, just put it out there without a care. And then within 12 months, I was booked out for 2 years. There was no viral hit. I had a personal brand, which helped. But the secret wasn't the fact that I had a personal brand to begin with. The secret was when people came and had a look at my profile, my presence online, they saw that I knew what I was talking about. They had trust in me and they chose to book me, and I was their wedding photographer. I had a lot of success from social media. But the one thing that I realized after the whole 1.6 million follower TikTok thing had kind of finished was the longevity. The thing that keeps you going is simply answering your customers' questions before they discover you, because that's how they discover you. They're asking the questions you already know, and you need to put out that content at scale. It's volume. It is. It's a lot of content, but it's specifically answering the questions in any format or delivery method you can. And the story goes like this. I was a school teacher back in 2017 through to 2020. I graduated in 2017, started teaching relief substitute teaching at the end of that year, went around to different schools in 2018 and then got a permanent job as a maths teacher at the end of 2018 and thought, sweet, I've got a government job that's pretty secure. I can now go on a quest to get a mortgage and do all that stuff. But I also had a hobby. I like taking photos. I got into portraits. I invited people to come with me and walk around the city to then have 120 people follow me around. And then I got invited to take photos at a wedding, which I never wanted to do. And I loved it. I just followed that and enjoyed it and made money out of it and thought, okay, let's do that. But also at the same time, TikTok came out. I did that for a little bit and got a few followers. Thought it was cool, thought it was interesting. The kids loved it at school, built rapport with them. And because I built rapport with them, they trusted me. They had an open window of learning because of me. I had kids who were so excited to have me as their teacher for the day when I was doing relief. So in 2020, I decided to have a year off to pursue my creative career and build a business. And obviously everybody got the flu and had to stay home for a couple of years, and I had to figure out how to still make money. And obviously teaching was nice to have as a fallback plan. Not that anyone could ever anticipate it, but in 2020, what I learned was the kids were interested in consuming stuff on the TV, on the phone, on the computer, on the iPad, on their device. And that's where they wanted to learn. So I put myself on the screen and taught them there. And the engagement was much higher and they wanted to learn. I had 20,000 kids stream into my live on TikTok teaching them maths voluntarily. It was crazy. And so I thought, okay, what do I do with this? I need to use this for my marketing. Do adults learn the same way? Kind of. The new age adults, the ones that are growing up, who were born by consuming content and learning from a screen, those habits will stay with them. And I came up with a quote that I say to this day. Your business has a demographic that never changes, but the generations shift. So the current generation or the older generation that you may be serving, the old ones, the boomers, the Gen Xers, and even some of the earlier millennials who didn't really consume as much on the computer as the late millennials, the Gen Zs and the Alphas do now. And I thought, okay, well, the younger generations are all on screens and learning on screens, and that's all they know. So why not start building something to learn from on the screen, like I did in this classroom, which worked. I had a 100% engagement rate. I had half the classroom watch me on the television that I had recorded before the lesson, and they loved it. It was the same exact lesson that I would have done in person live on the whiteboard, but for some reason, the screen resonated with them better. But then the other half of the class didn't want to do a group learning activity. They want to do it at their own pace. So I uploaded on their iPads and away they went. They were happy. They could pause it, they can rewind it, they can tune in and zone out and just do their thing. And then maybe I had one or two students who didn't want to do it at all. And it was a one-on-one with me and they learned better with me. It's the same thing with adults. It's the same thing with your customers. They're on their phone escaping reality. They're on their phone at the end of the day. The fact that they hate their life or they're wanting to escape their troubles, their problems, but they still have their problems. They're scrolling through looking for entertainment, sports, movies, gossip, whatever. And then along comes the algorithm that understands them, that has over 60, 70,000 touch points on them, that knows what they've been talking about, what they're interested in, what they're currently going through. You know, I have a 1-year-old, and all throughout the last 12 months, and even before the last 12 months, I'd get advertisements for nappies and stuff. It knows you so well because it's all you talk about leading up to it. Oh, he must be about to become a dad. Let's advertise the shit out of this stuff. And then as I'm scrolling through, I'm like, oh, yeah, that is going to be a thing that I will need. Let's look at that further. It stops me in my tracks and makes me go, oh, yeah, I need to purchase that thing, or I need to learn that thing, or I need to delegate some stuff so I can just have more time with my daughter. Your customer is hiding behind a phone, escaping their problems, and you have the solution. Your customer is either going to stumble across it because the algorithm knows they have this problem, or eventually the problem is going to persist so much that they will start searching for it, whether it's on YouTube or on social media or AI. And AI is going to look for the solution. It's going to find the best person that can solve that problem, because it's not about learning how to solve it. It's about implementation. For example, you need your lawn taken care of, right? You need it cut down, trimmed, maybe a little bit of rejuvenation in the soil because you got some dead spots. But how do you know you're going to hire a good gardener? Good reviews, lots of reviews. Okay. What about their social media? Kids don't look at reviews. They want to see the videos of the good work. They want to see a gardener that comes in that has personality, that goes the distance. Because you can have one gardener with 100 reviews and another gardener with 100 reviews. They both offer the same thing. They may even charge similar rates. But one goes above and beyond, does the little things. But how do you know they do the little things? Sure, you can go through the reviews yourself, but you can also see it in their videos if they put them out. But we don't have time for that. So how do we know? We're going to ask AI. AI is going to do the work for us. It's going to scan through and compare people like these two gardeners and go, this one is the better choice because they mention in their content they do this, 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 and this, whereas this guy just does the stock standard. Similar price, but this one's got better value for money. You should go for this one. And then all the reviews in comparison. By the way, this one also likes your footy team. So when he comes over, you can talk about the footy team that you love. You may even get a discount, for example. I don't know if AI will do that, but this is the world that we're coming towards. It's here already. And you as a business owner need to put yourself in front of the screen, showcase your unique selling personality. I don't have a script. I'm going off of the last 6 years of me observing, identifying, practicing this stuff before AI even came out. Because one thing I know is that if you answer your customers' questions and deliver them in every single medium possible, written, audio, and video, all of the above, you will win eventually. It's about volume. So how do you build confidence in front of the camera to be able to do this like I am doing it to you now? Lived experience. Know that what you're talking about is true, is authentic, is the right thing, and not give a shit about anyone else going, no, that's not right. How do you know it's not right? I know it's right because I've lived it. I've lived it for myself, and my clients have lived it as well. I've lost count of how many people have done what I told them to do now, and it's working. Now, whether or not they do it immediately or later on eventually is the one thing that frustrates me, because the sooner you do it, the sooner you can be consistent, you build the habits, the sooner it compounds, which is also the name of the tool that I built to help you stay organized with this content. More on that later. But the more you compound your content, the more data you have to go again, right? So here's the cycle of how everything works in terms of what you're trying to achieve with your content. Number one, you need to post something. Without posting anything, you have no eyeballs that can find you. Simple as that, okay? You have 100% chance of never being discovered if you don't put any content out online. Now, segue for a second. There are 4 ways to gain attention. Number one, you do such a good job with your current customers that they refer you to other people that they know. That's called word of mouth. When you get to that sort of reputation, you're pretty much swimming. But from my experience, it plateaus. If you want to grow your business, you need to go beyond word of mouth. Now, when someone refers you to someone else, they're going to still check your website. They're going to still see what you're about and if they're the right fit or you're the right fit for them. How do they know? You put out content. So even with word of mouth, they're still going to validate you. They need to know if you're definitely the right person, because their friend may have had a little garden, but you have a massive garden. Are you capable of taking on a bigger job? Who knows? The content will tell them. So that's the first type of marketing. The second type of marketing is the networking. The one where you go out to expos and conventions and trades fairs and out in the wild, and you find your customer and you talk to them, you build rapport, you drop a business card, and maybe hopefully you strike up enough conversations where people remember you, they don't lose your business card and call you back saying, hey, I remember you from 6 months ago. Too fucking long, right? But also, they're going to check the business card, they're going to go to your website, and they're going to see if you're still around, right? So that's the second type of marketing. The third type of marketing is ads. You put money in, it does its thing, you get customers. Great, it works. I know for a fact. I've got a great friend, his name's Brandon Willington, and he's got a company called Where You. They're crushing it with their education. Now, he's been a mate for a while and he's helped me a lot. We even have a 12-hour YouTube video together. Go find it. It's pretty easy to find. It's crushing it. And he's teaching me, but you, how to run ads. The thing is, it's a gamble. And the thing is, you have to keep at it. Do you have the willingness? Do you have what it takes to keep at it? And do you want to spend a lot of money to make more money? It's not for everybody, but when it works really well. But what if you don't want to spend money on ads? What if you want to attract customers digitally, organically? And that's the fourth one, the fourth type of marketing. And this is where I come in and teach these businesses. Been doing it for over 5 years now. The way organic marketing works now is not going viral. It's about becoming as searchable as possible. It's about becoming as trustworthy as possible, right? So you're going to put out this content. You're going to make sure that everything that you say has context to what you've lived, your lived experiences, your success stories. Now, on that, there's no such thing as case studies. Case studies are a science thing where you tried. Just like Yoda says, do or do not. There is no try. If you've tried, then you probably didn't succeed. And if you did succeed, call it a success, because that's what it is. Not a testimonial, not a review, but a success story. If someone gave you 5 stars, they had a successful experience with you. That's the language you need to use. So now you have success stories. Talk about them. Talk about the situation the customer was in before they found you. Talk about the actions you took with them or for them, or they took after you taught them, to then get the outcome that deemed it a success. Situation, action, outcome. That's how you share a success story. No other way have I found better than that way. There's other acronyms you can use like PAS, problem, agitation, solution. But SAO, situation, action, outcome, has been all-time goated. Now, trying to get back to before I went for a segue, I don't have a script, so I'm completely ranting right now. And I love this because everybody needs a rant. So, you are a business owner. You have the responsibility to attract more customers because you are the right person for the job. Now, you're not everybody's right person. Like, I'm not the right person for every couple out there that's about to get married. That's fine. I am the life of the party. I want to document. I want to hang out with the farmers, the bogans, the cashed up bogans, so I can quote them more. But really just have fun and take some good photos. I'm not for everybody. If you want a quiet, chill out person who's petite and mousy and out of the way that takes maybe those artistic magazine photos, I'm not your guy. I'm the banger, run and gun, that was a 6 shot, let's take some more and see what happens, right? And you as a business owner, you need to identify your unique selling personality, not your unique selling point. Nobody has that anymore. Everyone's done it before, right? It's your unique selling personality. If you genuinely have something that's unique for a selling point, cool, go for it. I'm not going to say that it doesn't really exist. There are things out there. But eventually there's copycats, and the personality, the brand of you is what stands out. Back in the classroom, picture yourself back in high school. You remember that one teacher that you resonated with? And the subject that you learnt, you loved because of that one teacher? Picture the same subject with a completely different teacher. You probably remember a subject like maths or English, where one teacher was amazing and you loved the subject, and another teacher was just rubbish. You didn't connect at all and you hated the subject. That's the same as your business. You need to be able to connect with the people you want to connect with. And if you have been around for 5 or more years, then you should have the experience, the knowledge, the authenticity, and the reflections over time to understand what your customers actually want. If you're a beginner, if you've just started out, you've got a lot of work to do. That's not just marketing. You need to discover this field that you're in to begin with, your service-based business or selling a product. And unfortunately, you don't have that experience yet, but you can still make content. You can talk about your journey. Jeremy Clarkson, for example, he's about to start filming his 6th season of Clarkson's Farm. And I love it because he's documenting something that he has no clue about. Season 1 was an absolute disaster. Very entertaining to watch because you're following a naive expert's journey of absolutely, what am I doing? I have no idea, but I'm going to learn. And you as a founder, as a business owner, need to document your journey. Now, if you're an established business owner who's gone through all of that, great. you have the lived experience of a time that you figured it out for a client. And now you're able to help more clients that are similar to the ones that you've already helped. How? By sharing those stories of how you've helped them in the past, your success stories. And you do that, and that is the best way to market your business. But then people have those questions, those FAQs you see at the bottom of the website that are in text that nobody reads, but they're there. Why are they there? For search engine optimization. But now the new world comes in and there's something called GEO. I made a video in 2024 about this. Generative Engine Optimization. It's like the evolution of SEO. It's pretty much the same thing, but now this time we're building trust tokens. We're building things, visual assets, learning centers that our customers need to discover and go down a rabbit hole and go, that's exactly what I was looking for. My question is answered. And now I need to hire this person because they answered my question the way that I was looking for. And let's do business. And people are not going to watch every video. They're going to ask AI to do it. And the AI is going to transcribe it. Now with Siri AI around the corner, releasing this September 2026 on all Apple devices and on phones, iPhones as far back as iPhone 11, you will be able to ask Siri AI on who would be the most ideal gardener in my area to do this job. And it will be able to go through, and it's powered by Gemini. Gemini is a Google product. Google owns something else. It's called YouTube. Google is going to favor itself for the information because Google is going to go, oh, you want to learn something? Well, we've got lots of videos on our website called YouTube. Here's one by a local gardener in your area, and he talks about this very topic you're looking for. And we're going to point you in their direction because we like to connect you with them. And we also get a bit of revenue from the video views that are generated because we're going to push it there. So that's the business model. But also, you have more trust in this platform. You have more trust in Siri. You have more trust in Gemini. And Google gets more users to the channels, and the customers are happy. The businesses are happy, the ones that put themselves out there and answer the customers' questions. Everybody wins. But if you don't put yourself out there and answer the questions, you cannot be discovered. There are so many different ways to approach this, but I've already covered one. Share your success stories. You have so many reviews as a well-established business owner. Go back and read all of the reviews and pick one and go, I remember that lady. She was in this situation. We did this for her, and then the outcome was this. She was stoked. If you could get 1,000 more of that exact same client, you'd be stoked because they had a pleasant experience and they believe you did a good job and you did the job and you got paid. Do more of that. But what else is out there to talk about? Well, you've got problems. Those frequently asked questions. What happens if this happens? You answer the question. My fence just blew over. How can I bring it back up until I can get it repaired? And as a fence installer, that would be one of the best videos you could make. Here's how to temporarily repair your fence before the maintenance guy comes in. For example, I don't even know if that exists, but that's just an idea. Or you are in pain and there's maybe some stretch exercises that you can do safely at your house to maybe relieve the stress temporarily before you go see a physio or a chiropractor. That physio or chiropractor should be making that video. Here are some stretches you can do at home if you have a sore neck or a stiff neck. And if the problems are still there a day later, come and see me. I'll help you out. Obviously, the people in the local area will be searching for this stuff. But that's just one piece of content. This is why volume comes back into the equation. If you're just doing the one thing, If you're doing one video and expecting to go viral and getting all of the business, it doesn't work like that, unfortunately. If you're wanting to put out one ad for one specific type of client that covers one specific type of problem, it doesn't work like that. And the best thing is, you don't want to pay a lot of money to test out which ads work or not, because you shouldn't be running one ad at a time. You should be running at least 12 ads at a rate of $50 a day across all 12, minimum. If you can't put up the balls to put out 12 videos and pay $50 a day, that's $300. That's a lot of money. That's $350 a week. If you're not going to make back $350 after a week, you're going to feel it. But you actually have to wait 30 days. I'm not here to talk about ads. That's Brandon's department. I'm here to talk about the 400 plus videos that you need to make that become your learning library, your visual assets that permanently live on YouTube, that then you can embed on your website, that people can then go down a rabbit hole to discover exactly what they're looking for, because you know what your customers are looking for. You've lived the experience over and over and over again. That's why the 5-year minimum benchmark is required. If you're starting out, go back to Journeyman. Collect the Journeyman, and then you can start building your learning library visual assets. But what else can you put out there? We've got reviews, success stories, and we've got problems. What about something where you can compare two things? What type of grass is better for my lawn if I'm about to refurbish the whole thing? Would it be buffalo or couch? You as a gardener should know this. And you probably say something like, it depends. Depends on what? Depends on the climate. Depends on your irrigation system. Whatever. I don't know. You do. Make it a video. So compare things. If I'm about to buy a microphone, for example, as a content creator, which is better? The Rode microphone or the DJI microphone? The short answer is Rode, always. I'm using Rode. Rode's fantastic. But why is it better? Well, because Rode is specifically microphones. DJI is drones and cameras and all these other gizmos, which are fantastic, by the way, and their microphones aren't that bad either. But the question is, in comparison, what's better, Rode or DJI for microphones? My answer is Rode. Quality's better. They've been doing it for a very long time, a lot longer than DJI. And I like the fact that they manufacture in Australia. Good old Sydney. That's a comparison video. So you as a business have comparisons that customers ask you all the time. As a personal trainer, you probably get customers asking you, what's better to do, squats or lunges? And you're probably going to say something like, try to do both. But the question is, what's better, squats or lunges? And you'll say something like, it depends. Depends on what you're looking to do. And then answer the question. And then do that 400 times. Let's go back. Success stories, problems, comparisons. We've also got best of lists. Your top 5 something. Here are the top 5 ways to prepare for a workout in the morning. Or you can make a comparison video. Here's a comparison between training in the morning or training at night. Which one is better? Right? Or another best of. Top 5 ways to get to the gym after a month off. I don't know. You're the trainer. You decide what your top 5 are. It doesn't have to be best of 5. It could be best of 3. Make it a top 10 if you have the time, if there's enough things to talk about. So let's go back. Success stories, problems, comparisons, best of lists. And then the final one we have is cost and price. Everybody asks, how much does it cost? And you're probably going to say, again, it depends. You're probably going to fear the fact that they're going to compare your prices. Well, guess what? They're going to ask AI. They're going to ask, who is the cheapest personal trainer out there? Who is a good gardener that doesn't cost an arm and a leg to mow my lawn? And it's going to look through all of the different businesses that are transparent with their cost and pricing. And if you're not on there, you're already gone. Unless you have abundance or you have a sales pipeline like I did with my wedding photography business for 2 years, put your pricing in there because times are changing and AI is looking for it. I was taught to not put pricing on my website and it worked out for me. But now, especially with a whole bunch of information that is being scanned and scraped by AI, if you're not winning business because you're not price transparent, then maybe you have to be. But if you're not the most expensive and you're maybe not the cheapest, then you put in the price range and educate your audience and why. Why that price range? What makes you more expensive? What makes you cheaper? Educate them. They love that because you're transparent. You don't have to promise them a quote. You can call to action at the end of the video. For a more accurate quote, reach out today. Would love to have an obligation-free site visit if you're a tradie or whatever, right? Otherwise, your competitor's transparency will simply not even outbid you, but AI won't list you and they'll go with them. You don't exist. So there's your 5 success stories, your problems that you talk about and how to solve them or how you would solve them for them to then just hire you to do it for them anyway. Your best of lists, your comparisons, A or B, and your cost and price. Now, some of you may recognize what I'm talking about, but most of you won't. I'm going to give the biggest shout out to Marcus Sheridan. He wrote a book called They Ask You Answer a few years ago, like over 7 or 8 years ago now. And he's got a new book, an updated version of They Ask You Answer called Endless Customers, came out last year. He was on my podcast and we talk about these big 5, he calls them. And I discovered him because I went on AI on ChatGPT when it first came out and said, who else is doing what I'm doing? I'm answering the customer's questions and who else is doing this? It came up with nobody except for him out of Connecticut, a website called Impact Plus. Go check it out. And I saw that and I was like, wow, this guy has done this for far longer than I have and he's built a whole framework and man, I don't have to write anything. I just adopt this and go for it. And it's been an awesome journey because I organically discovered just answer the customer's questions in your content at scale. And he's created this whole methodology. So highly recommend read that book. And a lot more of this will make sense as well. But I'm 32 minutes into this rant. And for me, my final conclusion to you is if you want to succeed with your business long term and attract more customers online, you have to answer their questions and be obsessed with answering as many questions, as niche or as specific as possible. I don't care. Start broad and then go in, because eventually you will start getting more hits organically. When people look at your ads, they will then want to go and check out your socials. They will then want to check out your website for legitimacy. Most people have landing pages these days with a video sales letter and a whole bunch of quizzes and testimonials and stuff. I have that and it works great. But people have also started telling me, Seb, it's not just your ads, it's not just your landing page, it's the fact that you've been consistently putting out gold knowledge for years that I trust you and let's do business together. You need to do the same thing. That's it. And if you don't, your competitors eventually will. And by that time, it may be too late for you. But it is never actually too late. You'll just feel a lot harder to do because they will already have some of or most of the knowledge out there. But what differentiates you from them, and this is a fact, this isn't subjective, is your unique selling personality. So even if you come into the market and you feel like someone else has already done this, or maybe you're listening to me and go, wow, I really want to do what Sev is doing and say what he's saying. Do it. You have your unique selling personality that's different to mine. People will resonate with you differently to me. A lot of people will resonate with me and want me as their guy. Great, fantastic. There's so many customers out there, enough for everybody. Marcus has got his own way of delivering it, and I've got my own way of delivering it. He's a fantastic speaker, and I'm still learning how to do this thing. But hey, more reps, more practice, and you get better at it. Right. That's it. Thanks for tuning in. I got a bit hectic, didn't I? It's 10:30 at night, and it's time to sign off, and I'll leave you with, reach out to me if you want to work together. I do online one-on-one workshops. They're 2 full days, about 5-6 hours each day, with about a 7 to 14 day gap in between the 2 days. And I will teach you and your business and your internal marketing team how to do all this, how to set up your internal systems, and how to be consistent enough so you can build your own learning library, your visual assets, how to post them, stay consistent, and eventually start getting all the organic traffic you've ever wanted. And then you'll get the outliers, the ones that go viral, and then you'll get the ones that you go, wow, we should repurpose this as an ad. And you will. And it will work. And you'll have 2 revenue stream angles, your 2 marketing pillars that you come out with, and they will work super well. And then out of those good jobs that you do from those new customers will become word of mouth. And then when you go out to those networking events and meet people, they'll remember you from the ads. They'll remember you from your organic content, and they'll go, oh, I love your videos. I see them all the time. I recommend everybody to you. That's what will happen. But it doesn't start until you start putting out content. I am living proof that this works, and I just want to share it with you. Come work with me if you want me to help you, if you want me to guide you. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. I love you.